How are y'all doing tonight? I have been on schedule every week. Tuesday and Friday, we go live at 8. Somebody is here. Welcome in. I have some good topics tonight. I'm very excited. How are y'all doing tonight? Of course, this will be up for the replay. Hello to my replay gang. I appreciate you. I understand people have lives. People have things to do. Hi. Good evening. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. I understand that people have lives and they have shit to do and they live in different time zones. So I always have the lives up for replay. But do y'all see how I'm so active lately? Perk is here. Perk, I haven't seen you in so long. Out of live. But how are you? But it's good to see you. So I'm committed to being here every week, Tuesday and Friday. So that way y'all know when I'm here. You know what I mean? It's not a thing, because I know like in the past, I've been very like, oh, I just go live. When I go live, catch me if you can. But I am, hi Blicky, but I am committed to having more structure, and I want you guys to know that like, I want to have structure and consistency. So that way people know when I'm going to be here. Like you should know on Tuesday and on Friday at 8 o'clock Central Time, I'm going to be here. I'm going to be live. I'm going to be live. I'm going to be doing what I need to do. I'm going to be here with some topics. You had a dream about the world ending. Hi, Dion. I'm so glad you're here, Dion, because I know I'm going to need a moderator tonight. But how are you? How are you guys doing? I'm waiting for more people to join. But anywho, how's everybody doing? Life is good. It feels so good to be able to make content more. As you guys have probably noticed, my output is like way up, and it's just because I have more time on my hands. Hello, Mom. So please, you guys, act right because my mother is here. But it's been really nice to just have some time to like record more. Like the other day, I made like 10 shorts. One of them I didn't post on YouTube, but I've been working like so many shorts, so many videos. I've been making so much content, and it feels great. It feels great to, you know, be working and be active. I really like making content. It's a lot of fun. Yes, I've been really working. I enjoy what I do, and it's nice when you can enjoy what you do and you can do it often. Especially because it's working, it's paying off. So, you know, a lot of you guys have been here for a long time. I appreciate you watching. But okay, let me get into the topics that I want to get. Yes, Blicky. Don't go Googling. I do my best to try to keep my name out of this YouTube channel or off this YouTube channel. Okay, so but the good thing is her name is a common name, so have fun with finding her. But anywho, I want to go over the topics that I have tonight. So of course I want to start talking about some real world topics. I want to talk about the economy and how that's going to look next year, lab grown food, and a situation with Synagogue tunnels in Brooklyn. This is a story that was swept under the rug last year. Hi, I'm Mia. Good to see you. I remember you from last time. I've been seeing you. Okay, so let me just go ahead and get started. We're like almost 5 minutes in. Let's start off talking about the situation with the underground tunnels, because that is a very interesting story that there are people working to cover up. So there was this story that was published last year. I came across it on TikTok because somebody had said that the authorities, I guess, found a red stained mattress that was in these tunnels, right? So there's this story that was aired or talked about very briefly about some Jewish people that had built tunnels underneath some synagogues in Brooklyn, New York. And allegedly, these Jewish people claim that they built these tunnels because they were trying to expand their synagogue. Now, from what I'm to understand, how I live in the life, from what I'm to understand, the tunnel that they built was like, it connected 4 buildings. And so, like, think of like 4 synagogues, and there's tunnels that connect them all, right? And somebody made an anonymous tip. That's how this was even found out about. Somebody called and made an anonymous tip. When authorities went to investigate, a fight broke out. And this is how the story really ended up making headlines, because the Jewish people were resisting arrest and got physical with the authorities. And when the cops did more investigating, before they could do more investigating into why these people had these tunnels underground, cement was poured to fill the tunnels. And again, allegedly these tunnels were all built because they wanted to expand a synagogue. They wanted to expand space. Now, of course, that all sounds like bullshit, because, you know, Jewish people have a lot of money and a lot of resources. They have a lot of power. So why would you need to build tunnels underground to expand worship space? I do find it strange how 4 synagogues are connected to this underground tunnel. And of course, when you do find an article that even wants to mention child trafficking, they say that it's baseless claims and that it's conspiracy. Like always, it's conspiracy theory. Why do you need to have an underground tunnel to do anything? Humans are not supposed to be far underground. Like, there's a reason why we are not beavers. Like, we're not the digging species. It is not in our, it's more in our nature to swim than it is to dig. Do you see? This is why people, and even when you start going too far, like, people have to understand realms. Humans belong no higher than like 40, because people even say we're not supposed to be in the 5D because you can see demons in the 5D. So we're not supposed to go too high up in the sky. We're not supposed to go too far underground. People start to get hurt when they go too deep into water, and you can, of course, get hurt digging too far into the earth, whether mining or tunnels or stuff like that, caves. You're not supposed to go certain places as a human being. So when we hear that there are, again, highly connected people who have access to great wealth, who are building tunnels underground to expand worship, that should be suspicious. Now, from what I'm hearing, again, red stained mattresses were found. It's totally giving child trafficking. I mean, there's a book that exposes Jewish people for their sadistic practices with children. You know, some of you may be familiar with how they circumcise children with their mouths. And sometimes the children die of herpes because this rabbi has herpes through all of the freaky shit that they've been doing, and they give it to this kid, and it's a baby, and so their immune system is not equipped to come into contact with a virus like herpes. So I just want to, expose this, because this is stuff that's really going on in the world. You know, the movie Us talked about that, with how many underground tunnels are truly running throughout the U.S. You know, everything from the Playboy Mansion to the White House, Diddy's house, the Kardashians' home, allegedly. And, you know, now it's being exposed with these synagogues. And I'm pretty sure there's even more places of worship that have tunnels underneath them. Yeah. They're saying that, you know, children were being affected and hurt in these underground tunnels. And after the cement was poured, also another reason why the cops showed up is because they were building again. They didn't have permits to dig and do all this shit underneath the earth, and it was messing with other buildings. Well, the story is a year old, and if you Google it, you will find it. But of course, it's not going to make it on the news because it's talking about the ooze. Anything that talks about ooish people is not going to be on the news if it, like, you know, depicts them in a bad light. And of course, like when people do fraud, oh, we did an investigation, we didn't find anything. Whatever. God knows the truth. And there's a reason why they quickly filled the tunnels with cement, because there was some unsavory stuff down there. There's a reason why the men, because if you're down here to worship, then it should have been no problem when the cops showed up, whether you have permits or not. We have a right to have, you know, we have a right for religious freedom in this country. America is the land of the free. We can say most of what we want. We can worship what we want. So it was, you know, you guys already have synagogues all over New York. So it shouldn't have been a problem if police showed up. But you didn't have permits. You resisted arrest. You got rowdy. And it's because you had something to hide. You were doing something that you weren't supposed to be doing. And again, hundreds, millions, you know, many kids go missing every year. And where are they? Where are they? Nobody can find them, right? I'm just saying, shit be going down. If you haven't heard of this story, look up this story because it is very real. And I bring this stuff to you. It was meant for me to come across it. I bring this stuff to you because the news is never going to expose the real truth. Ever. The whole point of the news is to program you. They're never going to tell you the real truth. That's an interesting story, and it continues to prove that there's a certain group of people that have, you know, this like fascination with kids and their life force. You know what I mean? Spirit cooking, anybody? A Nina comb, anybody? Just wanted to bring that up. Okay, let's get into the economy and lab-grown food. So I saw a post today saying that the price of butter is going up. Why is the price of butter going up? Butter is extremely cheap and easy to make, and it's in abundance. The price of butter is going up. I find that headline interesting because I just posted in the community post about lab-grown butter. And I told you guys, eating real food will become a luxury. For those who don't have any money, they will eat lab-grown food. They will be priced out of real food. I'm not kidding. It's happening before our very eyes. I do again find it interesting how Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos are in on this lab-grown food. And these are very rich people. You know what I mean? They have plenty of resources. There's really no need to create these things. But they create them because they have a plan. These are two people who have invested heavily into technology. I see Blicky. They have a vested interest in replacing you with AI. They also have a vested interest in giving you UBI. Again, there's a reason why Bill Gates owns so much farmland, because he plans on feeding him and his family real food. But they're also investing in the technology to continue to genetically modify food, as if we already don't have a bunch of GMO food. And they have a vested interest in giving you lab grown food. Now, something I want to bring up is with Amazon and Whole Foods, because people have exposed Whole Foods for having bioengineered ingredients in their bread. And there's a reason why Jeff Bezos got into the Whole Foods business, the grocery business, especially a place that's supposed to be healthy, right? It's supposed to be healthy. Health conscious people shop at Whole Foods. He did make a lot of the food more affordable. Whole Foods was in a lot of debt when he bought them. Some people feel like he has made Whole Foods worse. I don't feel that way. I don't. I think he has done a lot of improving for Whole Foods. But I do believe that, again, there's another agenda with owning Whole Foods. And that agenda is, again, to have control over your food supply and your ingredients. Okay? So lab grown food is continuing to become popular. Lab grown butter, lab grown salmon, lab grown red meats. We will continue to see the rise in lab grown food as the economy continues to get worse. Sorry. As the economy continues to get worse, which it will, and that's what I'm gonna, these two topics blend into each other. As the economy gets worse and as people continue to, struggle to find work and struggle for stable income, because now jobs just don't pay enough. For the cost of living, jobs don't pay enough. Yes, Jeff Bezos does look like a reptilian. He does. He does. I mean, you guys, to be honest with you, I think it's pretty obvious that they're all reptilian. Even when Jeff Bezos had hair, he looked reptilian. So Jeff Bezos looks reptilian. Don't be racist. What are you talking about? It's not racist to say that they're reptilian. Mark Zuckerberg looks reptilian, because the thing about it is this. Reptilian isn't, I'm glad they left that comment, but thank you, Dion, for handling that, because let's have a real conversation here. I was telling my mom the other day, I said, I think Doechii is a reptilian. There's a reason why we keep seeing her with alligators. Alligator symbolism. And then I know Beyonce has, hi Kadir, I know Beyonce has also had a lot of reptilian symbolism in her work, and she also has had a lot of siren symbolism in her work, and these are, connected. Reptilians and sirens, again, water spirits, they're connected. She's funny looking, but the symbolism is telling. And just because somebody is white doesn't mean that or just because somebody is black doesn't mean that, they can't be reptilian. There are so many of these creepy things running around. There are insectilians and then there are reptilians. Her being from Florida is telling too. See what I mean? I forgot that, Dion. I feel like the symbolism is loud. Because, Doechii, I don't know. I think she's supposed to be African American. Correct me if I'm wrong, you guys. I don't know much about her. But she looks... My mom thinks she's African. I think she's Haitian. She looks Haitian to me. And there's a content creator on here. What? Moving on. There's a content creator on here who has exposed this. And she was saying that Beyonce and Rihanna are reptilian, and that there are like some of the black people in Haiti are of this reptilian species. And I believe that because when you start studying some of the Haitian spirituality, like some Haitian mysticism, voodoo is a real religion in Haiti. You will see reptilian um, gods. Like, again, you will see mermaid gods. They love water and mermaids in the Haitian culture. And you will see there's another one that I'm forgetting, but it's like this snake god. And I'm telling you, they have a lot of reptilian Botox and surgery. I don't know what you mean, but they have a lot of symbolism with reptilian species and water spirit species. And so, like, this is why Haitian people who don't follow that rhetoric will tell you that they don't play with water. They don't play. They don't be out in the water like that, because they do believe that going out in the water too much and stuff like that, like playing out there, if you go too far within the water, that water spirits will take you. And there are people who, there are content creators on YouTube who talk about how normal this conversation is in Haitian households, where people will be like, "Where did Uncle Baba go?" And they're like, "Oh, Uncle Baba is like with sirens or with these mermaid spirits." And then Uncle Baba will resurface years later, looking a little bit different. Hi, Nicholas. He'll resurface later looking a little bit different. And sometimes they come back with money or lighter hair. You know what I mean? I believe it, you guys. These people are not lying. This is their culture. They know what they're talking about. This is a common conversation. And, but there are people who are like, "But you don't go out there." You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, Uncle Baba is back, but don't take your ass out there. They're trying to tell you something. They know something. Right. You're thinking of Beyonce, right? Right. Thank you, Dion. Back me up, because I'm not pulling shit out of my ass. And of course you think of Beyonce. Beyonce has a lot of videos where she's in water. You see an alligator. The hair has gotten lighter and lighter. Her skin has gotten lighter and lighter. She's, giving a lot of praise to African deities. Hi, welcome in. So it's pretty obvious that she's deep in. And I really want to talk about, let me, before I even go down that path, I know people were upset with Megyn Kelly for what she said about Beyonce, but Beyonce has a lot of people under the spell of believing that she's not bleaching, when it's very obvious she's bleaching. Hi, Fly York City. Good to see you again. She is bleaching. The hair is white as can be. Her skin is light as can be. It's very obvious that she's trying to, pay homage to white girls. It's very obvious. And people, if you say that, most of her fans will say, "That's not true. That's not true." And that's why I was saying today in my video, no, yesterday, in my video about Jay-Z and Cardi B, it's like, again, Beyonce and Jay-Z are typical boule Negroes, typical boule coons. They make it seem like they're so black and proud, black power, black excellence, generational wealth, black is king, black love, all of this bullshit. Meanwhile, brown skin girl, legacy, all of these things. Meanwhile, Beyonce continues to lighten her skin. She doesn't live by most of her lyrics. Jay-Z's, rap is going to be colonized, but sitting up here handing over samples and clout to a woman who is a black Latina, but doesn't consider herself a black Latina unless it benefits her. She doesn't speak Spanish, so she can't be like Bia and make music for Black people and Latinos. She can't operate within both worlds because she doesn't know Spanish. And thus she is isolated from her actual culture. I know Cardi B is Black, but Cardi B has to accept that she's Black. And again, not when it benefits her. She doesn't operate like your average Afro Latina. You would think that she was just like a pure Latina person because that's how she carries herself. Okay, one thing I wanted to say, speaking of Cardi B, somebody pointed out that Cardi B was just seen wearing the Orisha beads because she had just been initiated. You wear these beads after you've been initiated. And I had already called out Kehlani, Summer Walker, and SZA for also being initiated into this Yoruba thing, this Yoruba religion. And it's very obvious that it's a music industry thing, that this is like some kind of cult within the music industry. And that clearly there are people within the industry, higher ups within the industry, that are telling these women that they need to get initiated into this stuff. And why? Because they're making pacts with water spirits. You don't think it's by accident like that Cardi B is rocking and then she dyed her hair red like Little Mermaid, right? Like a siren. So she's wearing Orisha beads, red hair, hanging out with Jay-Z and Beyonce, has a new project coming. It's so obvious. It's so obvious, you guys. Okay. Right. She would call Black women roaches before she was as big as she is now, she was saying that dating Black men, oh, she was in an interracial relationship. So how are you supposed to be an Afro Latina and you think that dating a Black man is interracial? You just told on yourself, you know what I mean? But people are arguing me down because Black people have a problem with trying to claim everybody is Black. This is why, and this is not something that we came up with. This is a product of us being programmed with the one drop rule, because we know that during slavery, white people dumped a lot of their tragic mulattoes on us via the one drop rule. If they have one drop of Black, they're Black. When that's not true. That's why you have people like, again, like Lotto, who's white passing. Lotto at any moment could decide she wants to operate her life. Get out of my chat. You're annoying me. You're asking me dumb shit. You're saying stupid shit that doesn't make any sense. Get out of my chat. One thing I'm saying is this. With Lotto, if Lotto wanted to operate her life as a white woman, she could. At any moment, Lotto can shapeshift into a white woman. She has naturally blonde hair. She's white passing. She does not literally. And I know some of you are not going to agree, but she's niggified herself with the BBL and the veneers and all the tattoos and, you know what I mean, the lip injections. But if Lotto let the lip fillers dissolve, got her BBL reduced, you know what I mean, like at any moment Lotto can cut her hair into a bob, put on some real clothes, fix that fake Black scent, and she could be a white woman. She's white passing. But white people and Black people, which is how you know it's an act. The fact that the sister that she grew up in the same house with does not behave or speak like Lotto should let you know that it's all a bullshit minstrel show. And you should be offended that Black people are under the programming that rap music, BBLs, tattoos, smoking weed, and fucking Black guys makes you Black. And we are brainwashed to be colorist and to like big butts. So and rap music. So anybody that this is what I'm talking about when I say people like Ice Spice and Lotto and Cardi B are not Black. They get thrown in with Black people because they either don't speak Spanish, so they can't go fit into their own culture, right? Or they choose not to pass for white because they want to be accepted by Black people. So, you know, we're under the mindset that, oh, rapping, fucking Black guys, again, tattoos, smoking weed, BBLs, fat ass, twerking makes you Black. And this is how we have so many people in our community that are not Black, that are cosplaying as Black. I've been calling this out for a long time. And that's why I said the real, and I talked about that too, living the life. You're bringing up some really great points. Thank you for your commentary, because I talked about that too. I said, even with the new shit, with her channeling Lauren London's character, new, that is a ritual. Because new was an imposter, like Lotto. And this is why people are keep kicking it back, and this is why she's bubbling under. Yes, her Black scent is trash. Okay, let's talk about Tyla, because we're kind of going all over the place, but let's talk about Tyla, because somebody mentioned it. I think, Blicky, you mentioned it. Yes, this is a perfect transition to Tyla. Look, people felt some type of way. When I made that short about Tyla, a lot of people felt some kind of way. Stream the bitch music. Y'all have some nerve to be on my fucking TikTok and on my YouTube talking about how I wish. Perk said Tyla went quadruple pillow pet. Yeah, that bitch went double a boo-boo doll. That her fucking project went belly the fuck up. But here's the thing, right? These people were in their fucking feelings, and I don't care. I understand, and I've been talking about this shit for well over a year. I said that until Tyla identifies as Black, she's going to have a problem here in America. And it's not necessarily all her fault. This is a country, like much of the world, but definitely here in America, and definitely with our entertainment industry, we run off of black and white chessboard. You have to pick a side. If you want to be a major player in the American market, you have to pick a side. And if you cannot pass for white, you have to be Black. This is why, or you're not gonna play the game. Because there are artists like Bad Bunny, who's a big artist, but Bad Bunny isn't white chessboard or black chessboard. He's a Latin artist. He's a Latin artist. So he operates on a different program. But even Bia, let's talk about Bia, because Bia is an actual Afro-Latina that operates like an Afro-Latina, right? But Bia, she's struggling to connect with the popular audience. She is a Rihanna wannabe as far as Tyla. But okay. Anywho, you guys, when it comes to Bia operates, even though she's Afro-Latina, she operates in the black space. Why? Because she has no choice. Because even the Latin community, here's the thing, even the Latin community operates under this colorism black and white chess. They don't like black people. Most of them don't. So that's why even Afro-Latinas get problems with their Latino side, because the Latino people don't like black people. And so they kick them back to black people. And this is why Bia cannot truly just thrive in the Latin markets. She has to be in the black, African-American black market. And again, we accept these people because during slavery, we didn't have a choice. It's been bred in us to accept them. via the one drop rule, via having, mixed children that we still have to take care of because their white parents don't give a fuck. Okay? Okay, with Tyla. Tyla has tried it on several occasions. Now, I told you guys, I said she's not going to thrive until she identifies as black. Tyla identified as black. She said, I'm colored, but I'm also black. That is true. But her mental programming is anti-black because of where she's from. This is to no fault of her own. She has been living in a country that has serious issues with race. These people had apartheid and like all this stuff. They have a huge issue with race in South Africa. So it's hard to undo a lifetime of racial programming and generations of racial programming. Tyla is black and Indian, but y'all should know, even Indian people don't like black people. Get out of my chat. Why are you here? We're not even talking about that. Like, you just talking to be talking. Indian people don't like black people neither. Tyla pissed me off and a lot of other black people off because, like I said, which I'm going to stand on, you come over here because you want to be big here. It's not good enough for you to thrive in your own country. And the gag is because she's not thriving that much in her own country. And Tyla is a big-headed bitch who think that she's bigger and better than what she is. And so she thinks that she's too fucking good to be famous and popular in her own country. She associates America with success. And why? Because other people across the world associate America with whiteness. And America is like the Big Lebowski. Like, every artist wants to make it big in America. You know what I mean? We are the shit. We just are. Latin artists want to make it big in America. They want to break into the American market. Caribbean artists, K-pop artists, European artists. I'm not backing down on this because it's proven too many times. Yes. Thank you, Perk. Other artists across the world look up to American artists, and Perk was right. They all worship at the altar of Beyonce, Rihanna, Britney Spears, Nicki Minaj. They want to be Taylor Swift. Everybody wants to be big like an American artist. So Tyla wants to be big over here, but her mental programming keeps showing. And she really rubbed me. See, here's the thing. I knew that water was payola. It was obvious. I knew that the Grammy was paid for because she's an industry plant. Tyla doesn't have, and this is why she's failing. Same thing with Ice Spice. They're struggling. Same thing with Cardi B. They're struggling to have longevity because they don't have a foundation. They're all payola and, paid. It's all paid for. It's all fake. It's all bots. And so as time goes on and the smoke clears, you don't see any real, success or any one-trick ponies, Wheelo. You don't see any real, any legitimacy to their career or their status or lack thereof. You don't see any legitimacy to it because it was never built on legitimacy. People start to see that the emperor has no fucking clothes on. So with Tyla, she's not being streamed that much in her home country because she never put in the work to build a legitimate fan base in her own country. So they can't support her. Because, imagine again, when you're an artist like Bad Bunny, or when you're an artist like Kali Uchis or Karol G, these are people who were actually supported. in their community. So whether American artists like them or not, they're going to be fine because they have an actual foundation of people from their own community, from their home country, that actually like them and stream them. But Tyla never put the work in to have that, which is why she's failing so bad. Because South Africa is a big group of land with a lot of people. She should have done well over 3,700 units sold. But that goes to show that people in your home country don't fuck with you, and Americans don't fuck with you. And a lot of that is because you got a bad attitude. A lot of that is because you never put in the work. You never built a foundation. Because they have a lot of people with a bad fucking attitude who are doing fine. But you don't have any real music. You don't have enough, you know what I'm saying? You don't have a big enough catalog of hits, legit hits, to, you know, allow you to have a bad attitude or to allow you to have a big ego. Kanye West is walking around here with the biggest fucking ego in the world. One of the cockiest motherfuckers on this planet. He just walking around cloned, mentally ill, with a fucking white woman that's naked half the time, or excuse me, all the time. Kanye is walking around doing the most absurd shit, got his ass cheeks out on a fucking boat, you know, doing porn or corn on a fucking boat. Kanye is out here completely fucking spazzing out, and people are still streaming. You know why? Because Kanye has years in the game. Years in the game with hundreds of legit hits that he's helped make for other people or that are his own, which is why people allow him to spaz out, because the hits really hit. He's really got hits. He really spent years building up a portfolio, building up a catalog of legit hits that can sustain him even when he's having a mental outburst. Y'all gonna learn. Hey Chewy, good to see you. Okay. So with Tyla, I did not like that Tyla got that fucking payola ass Grammy, but I let it slide because Cardi B has a payola Grammy. A lot of people have a payola Grammy. Allegedly, a bunch of Beyonce's Grammys are payola and paid for and bought. You know, Megan Thee Stallion has payola Grammys. Like, it's all over the place. So many people have Grammys that they didn't earn. Taylor Swift has a bunch of fucking Grammys that she really don't deserve. Yes, I said it. I don't give a fuck. Yes, I said it. A lot of her music is fucking mid. She's a good writer, but her music just don't hit to me. It sounds soulless. But when it comes to that situation at the VMAs, that's when I was like, I'm not fucking with this bitch. Tyla really rubbed me wrong when she asked people to help her hold that fucking VMA. And she rubbed a lot of Black people the wrong way. And there's a reason why she pissed us off. People want to make it seem like people that's my problem. And let's talk about mental programming. People will try to mentally fuck you into believing that you're crazy. And it's because they're under a different mental programming. People from Tyla's home country think that Americans are being crazy based off of how we reacted to that, because they're still under the psychosis of the racial programming in South Africa. Good to see you, freshman. Yes. Yeah, I miss you too. I'm glad that you're here. So, you know what I mean? Like, they're so under that programming that they think that we're being wild and absurd by picking up that she was doing subliminal shit. And this is why I'm saying, hey, hello from Vegas. But this is why I was saying, again, racial programming is deep. Because Tyla, and this is why she's rubbing us the wrong way. Because Tyla is under the racial programming that she's better than Black people. And we can pick up on that. But people where she's from don't see an issue with that because that's just how they operate. That's just their culture. Their culture is segregation, racism, and, you know, underhanded spiritual warfare, little shit. And we have enough of that in this country. But we've awakened to it and we've fought against it. You know what I mean? So we know how to clock it. But where Tyla is from, everybody is under this program that black people are lesser. So they think that we're being crazy for calling it out when we're not crazy for calling it out and we're not overreacting. Tyla be playing that fucking bullshit, and that is what pisses me off with her, because I feel like this. Tyla, when you want to hold your fucking Grammy, you held that shit with pride. When you went back to your home country, when that political or government official tried to hold that Grammy, you refused to let him hold it. You held on to that Grammy for fucking dear life. But when you got that fucking VMA and you were here in the States and it was two black people who gave you that award, who presented you the award, you immediately switched into who you are, which is a racist bitch. And you fucking thought that it was a good idea. You thought that those people were so beneath you because they're black and they're not mixed with anything. You thought that they were so beneath you, that you thought that you thought that you were so above them, that you thought that they were supposed to be fucking end tables. You know what I mean? You think that black people, you think that undisputable, undeniably black people are the help, are butlers, are maids, and that when black people are present, they are meant to fetch water and hold things for you, and you know what I mean, and open doors for you, and that they're supposed to be your footstools. That's what that interaction showed people. And this is why it's one of those things, no matter how much she claims that she's black, when it benefits her, you cannot hide who you really are. You cannot hide how you really feel, because when you're put in a particular situation, you show your fucking ass and you cut up and people clock your tea, and we are not overreacting. She rubbed me the wrong fucking way. That was some bullshit. That was some bullshit. That interaction was fucking nasty. That was nasty, and that was gutter. And that's why I don't give a fuck about Tyla, and I want her to pack her shit and go back to where she's from. And I want her to get the fuck out of the United States. And I want her and her Indian ass to stop fucking cosplaying like she's fucking black all the way. Because here's the tea. Tyla, the reason why her team keeps her in braids is because Tyla low-key can pass for Indian because she's mixed with Indian, right? And so they're trying to fucking make her present as more black by keeping her hair in braids when her real hair texture is on the softer side. I just feel like I don't give a fuck what Tyla has going on. I don't care. Tyla is mixed with black, but I don't care if she wants to identify as black, Indian, colored. I don't fucking care. I just want her the fuck off of my TV screen. I want her out of America. I want that bitch to disappear. I mean it. I don't like her. And her energy is disgusting. And that situation at the VMAs really made me want to kick her ass, because she is out of this world. And she needs somebody to really tell her about herself, because she does act like an Indian person. Indian people have a lot of self-hate. They hate being dark. They hate black people because, again, they're brainwashed by colonialism, right? And imperialism. So many black people, she can fucking sell Arizona teas at 7-Eleven in South Africa. She is from India, East Indian. You can see it. She's so olive in the face. Her skin is very olive. But I feel like Indian people, East Indian people, are deeply self-hating. They hate being Indian. They hate being dark. They hate black people. But they still, no matter how much they hate themselves, they still have this warped sense that they are better than black people. As dark as they are, they believe that they are better than black people. And Tyla showed her hand when she cut up at the VMAs. She just did. And that's why people keep getting rubbed the wrong way by her. Because Indian people have this issue. There's a lot of Indian people that are coming here to America, especially those in cities that are very tech heavy or that have a lot of tech jobs. And Indian people can be very nasty and pretentious. Where again, when it comes to black people, they think that they're just so much fucking better than black people, but they worship white people because they're mentally programmed. And so when you are mixed black and Indian and you know, or you from South Africa, you have so many layers of mental programming. So many layers of mental programming. This is why I said it's deeply ingrained in her socially and generationally. This superiority complex, and her fucking fucked up mind can get the fuck out of here. Fuck Tyla. That bitch deserves nothing but a plane ticket back to her home country. I want her gone. Now, somebody said, why don't we support Normani and Chloe? Hey, I'm glad you're home safe, Amia. Somebody said, y'all complain about Tyla, but don't support Normani and Chloe. Okay, let's get on that, because that's a great argument to some extent. Normani is very talented, but Normani and Chloe have the powers that be preventing them from reaching their full potential. Normani has an issue. Normani is a flop. She is. Normani has an issue with originality. She spends too much energy channeling Beyonce. And it's like, why are you channeling somebody that wishes that you would disappear? They're not great artists. Chloe is under the shackles of Beyonce. These are actually two women who have been victimized by Beyonce and her husband. Chloe and her sister, we should know by now, are shelved in a really shitty record deal with Parkwood. And Normani made the grave mistake, besides being unoriginal and channeling somebody who is evil and demonic, and jealous of anybody that she thinks has potential, beauty, and talent. Yeah, I said it. It's obvious. Beyonce has a deeply jealous spirit. You can pick that up off of her. Normani end up getting into a management deal with Roc Nation. That is the industry voodoo doll. That is the industry, just hex. Getting into a record deal or signing any kind of paperwork with Roc Nation, you did voodoo on yourself. Why would you do that? Beyonce and Jay-Z are so obviously very cunning, demonic people, but when you worship idols so much, and when you're so thirsty to be famous, you don't have discernment to see that these are deeply evil people. I keep trying to tell y'all, Jay-Z, okay, when I want to really express to you the level of evil that I sense from them. I gotta get hoes out my chat. Yes, but I keep telling you guys, I think Chloe and Holly were sold into that deal by their parents, because there's photographic proof to back up that theory. I've been showing you guys this for years. Via Decode, old YouTube videos I've been talking about. We're talking about shit I've been talking about for forever. But the public is just now starting to catch up. Because they say, you're not crazy, you're just early. Right? So I believe that Beyonce is cloned and replaced. And I believe that Jay-Z is replaced too, but in a different way. I don't think he's cloned, but I think that he might be chipped. if he's not chipped and has the mark of the beast, I think he is possessed by a fallen angel or like demon possessed. But something with them both, like they both, you could tell that they are both demonically possessed. Because whether you want to believe that Beyonce is cloned or not, she told you she was demonically possessed. She told you that, right? So I just want to put that out there. Those two people are not operating as themselves. And the people in the music industry know this. They have firsthand knowledge of it because they keep going to the Rock Nation brunch, Grammys after parties, Clive Davis after parties, Met Galas. They keep going to all of these award shows and all of these industry parties. And so they definitely know that these are evil people. But when you're so thirsty to be famous and you're so thirsty for a couple dollars, you will follow Satan straight into the pits of hell. I have to do a decode on that. I owe you guys a decode. But there's a video that talks about Jay-Z and Basquiat. Chloe, okay, with Chloe and Holly. I'm telling you guys, I just am not able to completely give them the blame for them being in that raggedy ass record deal because they have been associated with Beyonce since they were minors. Very young minors. So I believe that their parents sold them to the Carters. I just do. Hi, Michelle. I think that their parents sold them. I'm sorry, guys. I feel like I will always say, I think that there was something deeper going on there. I think that Chloe and Holly's parents know Tina Knowles personally. And I believe that those two girls are are being like used to pay off a family debt. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like there's somehow leverage in a deal between Tina and their parents. I just feel that way. I feel that way because there's that photo of that lady braiding Beyonce's hair when Beyonce's a young child. And that woman looks like Chloe. Your water was off? Their godmom, their grandma did pass away. Their father is allegedly abusive. I don't know what somebody's in here. I don't know. I'm seeing some of these comments. I'm like, huh? Oh, okay. I hope that things are better now, Michelle. There's a photo of a lady at Beyonce's mom, Tina Knowles' salon. Beyonce is a young child getting her hair braided. That lady looks like Chloe Bailey. I do believe that he did because there's too many photos of Jay-Z, Beyonce, and Chloe and Holly, again, while they're minors. And it's just like, these are your artists. Why is your husband here? And y'all are clearly nowhere near a studio nor a record label office. So it's like, what he doing here? I'm just saying. I thought about that too. I said, now why is this nigga around these young girls? Y'all, I think that that lady who was braiding Beyonce's hair is Chloe's real mother. I do. And I think we haven't seen her in years. We only seen that lady in that one photo. So where is she? Who is she? She might not be Chloe's mom, but I do find it interesting that she looks like Chloe. And the lady who they claim is Chloe and Holly's mom doesn't look like them. And the father, they say, is abusive, so we haven't seen him in years. So who are the real parents? Where are the real parents? I'm connecting the dots. Y'all not gonna call me crazy. I just be noticing shit. And I know niggas be lying. And people be coming up with paid actors to pretend to be your parents. And people be getting rid of your real parents. And children be sold as leverage in deals. That's what I believe. I believe that they took that shitty deal because it was never their choice. It was a deal between their parents and the Knowles family. Okay, that's what I believe, you guys. Let me know what you think. Okay. They shown us their mother, but I don't believe that that's their mom. I don't think that's their mom. Okay. Anywho, I'm just seeing if I missed any comments. Okay. As far as Normani, she's not original enough. As far as Chloe, she's a slave. She's a music industry slave. Yes, that's another thing too. Holly is mixed with fallen angel DNA. That's how she appears. Something with her is strange. Her son looks strange too. I've always told you guys this. There's a reason why she played Little Mermaid, because she's an actual water spirit, allegedly. And Hollywood loves the ritual of people playing themselves, people playing who they really are, because nobody can, like, it's important for you to play a role that doesn't require you to do too much. Like, you know what I'm saying? Nobody can be you like you, right? So, I definitely believe that, right. I definitely believe that Holly is like mixed with fallen angel DNA. She does look like a fish. And her son looks, again, weird. I don't care. He's a strange looking child. And he acts strange too. His name being Halo is telling. His name being Halo is telling people, honestly, that he's also in bondage. You know what I mean? Again, Beyonce has a song called Halo. He's clearly, like I keep telling you guys, on the plantation, when slaves had babies, the babies were also property of the master. Halo is, in my opinion, property of the Carters. That baby is like a little bit weird. And what else? Soul Illuminati, who's a content creator, he was saying, don't you find it interesting because y'all up in here playing, so I gotta time people out and get people out of my chat. Anywho, what was I saying? So Illuminati, he was saying, yes, don't you find it interesting how she kicked up all that custody drama with the baby when she was about to go to Europe to film? And he was like, she's about to be around all these execs. And I was like, mm-hmm. And didn't Jay-Z step in and send DDG a gift to let him know something before all of that custody shit popped off? That was clearly ritualistic. And I definitely do believe that she was hell-bent on bringing the baby to Italy or wherever she was filming for a reason. I just do. Holly and that baby are property of Disney, I believe, and the Carters, in my opinion, again, are also puppets for the elites. It's just a bunch of, it's just a pyramid scheme. It's just, you know, I own you, and then you own you, and then I, you know, like, come on. It's pyramid shit. The Carters are not, you know, in charge of as much as people think that they are. They do good. Yeah, DDG also took the oath. He agreed to play a part in the ritual. Obviously. Yeah, Blicky, I be seeing shit. DDG agreed to play a part in the ritual. But I'm just saying, you know, the Carters are also owned by people, and then they have slaves under them. It's very obvious to see. Megan Thee Stallion is a slave under them. You know, again, Holly and Chloe, slave under them. Lil Uzi Vert, slave under them. And then a lot of these people, they just, you know, they have multiple handlers. I mean, Lil Uzi and Rihanna are like slaves to like the fashion people. They're slaves to these fashion demons and corporations. Like, it's very obvious to see. And don't you see Beyonce out there promoting all of that fashion at her concerts, when this is somebody who has a mother who can sew? This is somebody who, you know, was selling you Adidas and Ivy Park and House of Darion, but yet they don't actively promote any of their own brands. They go on tour, which is the perfect time to promote, you know, Tina's skills, the perfect time to promote Ivy Park, the perfect time to promote House of Darion or whatever the fuck she's selling this week. But they don't do that. She gets a bunch of designers to, you know, mainly white designers. She gets a bunch of them to make her clothes. And why? Because she's a slave and a puppet. Yes, I did notice DDG getting the fake arrested. I said, oh, great. Another one. Another one. And people are going to say I'm a hater and I'm crazy. What are the odds that DDG, Glorilla, Erica Banks, who else? Duke Dennis. What are the odds that all of these people end up arrested around the same time? What are the fucking odds? Come on. When I saw him get arrested, I said, oh, great. Another one. Here we go again. They're not even being original. You know, people are claiming that they like the Sacred hair care products. I would not put Fenty or Sacred anywhere near my scalp. Your pineal gland is right here. Your medulla oblongata is right here. Your brain is under here. Your cerebral cortex and frontal lobe are like up here. Why am I gonna put that demonic shit that close to my skull and my chakras and my brain? People are such idol worshippers. Beyonce could literally sell her own shit and people would be like, oh my God, I'm not buying that shit. I don't want any parts of Sacred. My hair has no problem growing, and there is no formula that Beyonce has that I need. She did have a candle. I covered this in a short. I said, don't you find it interesting how she just sold y'all candles? She sold you candles. She sold you liquor. And she was selling something else. And I was like, oh, that's all of the tools that you need to do rituals. They're making it extremely obvious. You just gotta be awake and you gotta see it. Okay. We are getting into it. Okay, so let's talk about Cardi B and the new song coming out. I don't think it's gonna do that great. Somebody said that they believe that Jay-Z is gonna write her verse. I believe that. I believe that she sampled Jay-Z's beat and that he's going to write the verse too. Will the song do that great? I don't know. I don't think it's going to do extremely great, but I think that people are going to stream to just hear it. You know, people are going to want to hear it. You just never know. I am going to say, I do feel like a lot of the numbers will be payola. I do think that she will have a Beyonce feature on the new album as well. But you guys, it's nothing to get in arms about. It's just like, whatever. Like, I have no interest in Cardi B. I will not be listening to anything that she comes out with. I want none of her music. I want none of her energy. I'm sick of seeing her on my timeline. She is the biggest slave, the biggest puppet who just allows herself to be used so much to just push whatever agenda that the elites want her to push. And that's why she's still here. Because she's a baby making machine. Offset, right. Offset can't save himself. He's a bum ass nigga that can't save himself. So if he can't write anything for her or for himself, he can't do shit for Cardi. But he is still a better rapper than her. He is. You know, Offset is not all bad. I've heard some of his verses. He's not all bad. He's just a cornball. But I don't, you know, the thing about it is this. When you are truly divested from somebody, you don't give a fuck what happens. I don't know. I think the song will be mildly successful, but I don't really care because I won't be listening. I have no desire to listen to Cardi B. I have no desire to support her. And I just want to give her, you know, yeah, she's been, you know, throwing ass back for Michelle Lamy. She's a slave. And she's a hollow fucking carcass. But it's all made up. Cardi B is still in the algorithm. She's still in front of our faces because she has allowed herself to be completely used and hollowed out. Cardi B is one of the biggest slaves in the industry. It's obvious to see. Because she should not, there are so many artists that we see come and go so quick. They're here 1 minute and they're gone the next. But Cardi B, despite the lack of talent, the lack of couth, just nothing to offer, but internet antics, and she still manages to be in the algorithm and get, you know, press and stuff like that because she is allowing herself to be used. Any agenda that the elites want her to push, she will do. I definitely believe that she is continuously getting pregnant to appease the elites. That should be pretty obvious by now. Because it just makes no sense. Why would somebody who claims that their husband has been dogging them completely out, she claims that Offset has just been cheating. Let her tell it. He has just been cheating up a storm. This nigga can out-cheat a cheetah. Let her tell it. But she continues to pump out baby after baby after baby. Instead of getting into the studio and making music, whether she writes it or not, she lays up and she has baby after baby. While claiming that the same man that she's letting get her pregnant is doing her wrong. You know what I mean? That should let you know this is an empty vessel who is allowing herself to be used. And that's what I've been saying, living in life, is that the whole divorce drama with Offset is a stunt. They are not officially divorced. I don't care that she is helping to initiate Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs, I believe, is DL. And I believe that she's helping to initiate him. And I believe that it's all fake and PR, and I believe that her and Offset are going to get back together. I don't care. They're not divorced. If these people really wanted to be divorced, they would divorce. They have not divorced because they have no intentions on divorcing. And her dating Stefan is also a part of her rollout. She's about to release new music. So a new relationship is great to get people interested in her again. Because people are tired of the same old shit. People are tired of her, again, complaining about some man that's cheating on her, but continuing to stay and get pregnant, which is only making it harder to leave. So people, like I was saying with Kash Doll, people love a good comeback story. They love to say, oh, he was doing her wrong and now she's being loved properly. She's getting what she deserves. People love that shit. They eat it up. And so this is the play. She's not interesting. Her antics are old and dry. We're going to get her a new relationship, and that's going to get people, hi Ken, good to see you. We're going to give her a new relationship, and we're going to, you know, get people interested in her again, you know, make this a part of the rollout, give them a reason to, you know, again, want to see what she's up to, create some more drama around her and Offset with this guy. This is why I was saying, I even realized with Kash Doll, it's PR, because people in real relationships, and unfortunately, this happens in real life too with like actual people, but anybody that is like mature and grown isn't online all day going back and forth with the people that they sleep with. That's childish as fuck. These are all people over the age of 30. That's what I've been saying, because going back and forth on social media, recording your every move for social media, taking to your Instagram stories to express your feelings to a bunch of people who don't give a fuck about you is young people shit. No, it's obvious it's fake. That's what I was saying. When you really are in a real relationship, you are too busy enjoying that person. You don't even think about, oh, let me pull out my phone and record and do this and do that and like record the whole thing. When you spend your whole life recording shit, you never really get to enjoy or experience because you're so distracted turning your life into content. So if you're really meeting a new guy and you're getting to know him and you really like him, how is he supposed to believe that you really do like him if you spend the whole time recording every single fucking date that y'all have? You're not even giving him your attention. You're not even making time to enjoy those intimate moments. You're too busy exploiting your time with that person for a bunch of people who don't know you and damn sure don't give a fuck about you. Which is how I know it's fake and it's bullshit. Megan is a hoe, a drunk, lying, scheming, backstabbing thought. And so she's a one-trick hoe too. She's a one-foot, one-flow hoe, and they needed to try to rebrand her. We are tired of the bars talking about her coochie and how great she is. We are tired of seeing her clap. Hey, Micah, good to see you. We're tired of seeing her clap cheeks. And we're tired of the lies. We're tired of her drinking. We're tired of her image. And so Rock Nation said, we're going to put her with somebody that's perceived as the good guy. And we're going to use this relationship as a way to rebrand her. Okay, people have been talking about that. Is it a movie, Micah? Weapons? Is it a movie or a TV show? But she has to post every man because Megan is not in a real relationship. And the thing about it is, even if Megan was in a real relationship, she has constantly proven, thank you, okay, I gotta check it out. She has constantly proven to the public that she is a disloyal, dishonest, drunk ass thought who will fuck anything moving. She lied on her dead mama. Yes, she did. She's a lying, drunk hoe, and she can't be trusted. And she's a slut ass bitch who is not the most faithful woman. This, like, Megan is not girlfriend material. She's not wife material. So even she is a industry bitch through and through. Nothing about her is authentic. Nothing about her is real. Nothing about her is genuine. And she doesn't have an honest fucking cell in her body. So of course she's going to You know what I'm saying? She's not fit for a real relationship. She's an industry bitch. She's made for fake relationships because Megan is fake. She just is. Even before Rock Nation cloned her, allegedly, she is a fake lying bitch who's always drunk and has no morals. She's narcissistic as fuck. She has no self introspection. You know what I'm saying? She's not able to self reflect. She's a typical narcissist that deflects at every opportunity that she has to take accountability or responsibility. Every time Megan is supposed to take accountability for something, she deflects every single time, and it's always somebody else's fault, and it's always what happened to her and never how she played a part in it. And that's why I'm saying some people are made to be in the industry because they are not genuine people. If you are a person with a soul and you believe in karma, you have remorse, you have, you know what I'm saying, again, morals and codes and standards, you're not cut out for the music industry. You have to be a scrub the ground, fake, pilled out, freaked out weirdo to thrive in the industry. And that's how Megan has been able to thrive. This is why she has been the perfect puppet for the cartels, because she is just like them. And those same people are working on shelving her ass, because I don't believe that this relationship is going to truly rebrand Megan, because I already told you guys, the stunt with Tory really fucked her up. And she has continued to do a lot of shit that has just made people side-eye her. Her lies, she's been caught up in her lies. She's a bad liar. And, you know, a lot of people don't like the way that she did Nicki Minaj neither. So, yeah, when it comes to Megan, I just don't think that a PR relationship is going to change how people feel about her. Same thing with Cardi B. I think that, and let's talk about this. Yeah, we're talking about Bigfoot. Let's talk about this on some real shit. This is how I know that these people are under mind control programming, because they believe the lies that Satan tells them. Because the devil is a liar. So Jay-Z is telling these girls, he's telling Megan and Cardi B a bunch of lies. He's lying to them. Thank you, can't. He's telling them, if you do this, this will happen. If you do this, you'll get this. Typical satanic lie. But he's not telling them the truth. And they won't realize the truth until after they've already dug themselves further in the hole with Satan, right? That's how Satan works. So when it comes to these two, Jay-Z is lying to them and telling them that if you get into these fake ass relationships, this will change the public's perception of you. And your music will sell. And this will happen, and this will happen, and Rock Nation management, and, you know, performances and tours and features and samples. This is what Jay-Z is telling them. It's very obvious. And brand deals and endorsements and Super Bowl performances. You know, it's clear to see. You can see it. But is it true? No, because the truth is you're too far gone. And Satan knows this. But Satan has a plan. You know what I mean? Just like Satan knew in the Garden of Eden that truth, eating the fruit, would give Adam and Eve knowledge of good and evil. But it would also fuck them up. But, the lie was, if you eat this fruit, you'll have knowledge of good and evil, and therefore you'll be like God. Fact, if you eat the fruit, you will have knowledge of good and evil. Lie, you'll be like God. See what I'm saying? He knew that was a lie. He always had another agenda, which was to fuck with their DNA. They bought into the lie, and he was able to do that. But what I'm saying is, Jay-Z is doing the same thing. He's telling them, if you do this and if you do that, I can do this, and my fucking bottom bitch over here, my blonde horse, she'll do this too if you do this. Because that's how Satan works. It's all based off of transaction. I can do this for you, but, or I can make this happen if, or when, you know what I mean? And so it's always like, I'll do this, but you gotta go first. It's always like that. Or if Satan goes first, you owe his ass big time. You will owe him, and he will collect. He will collect. And you have to make do with the contract because you've become an agreement. And therefore, at that point, God is not in it because you have the power of free will. And so if you agree to the contract with him, God's not going to help you back out of that contract because you did that. You know what I'm saying? Like this is why I always mention spiritual law, because it does exist. It does exist. Which is why Yash Kara was saying, again, you gotta sign contracts in the industry. So when the devil comes to collect, you can't cry foul. And if you try to take it back to God, God rejects you trying to annul the contract because you came in agreement with it. So if Satan wants to collect, and however he chooses to collect on what you agreed to, he has a right to. Literally, this is why you in the music industry, there's always a contract because Satan is the accuser. So because God does judge everything. And so God is, at some point when it comes across his desk, if your name is signed, then it's out of his hands. Satan has free reign because you agreed. Do you see? You see this. So and again, Beyonce is leverage for Jay-Z's business ventures. So the lie is, if you do this stuff, it'll do this for you. But the truth is, Cardi B, you're not talented. People don't like you. And Megan, people don't like you neither because the ritual with Tory went so bad and you've been caught in so many lies and you have a bad personality that people are not interested in you anymore. So you can date all the fucking, guys you want to date. You can be in 12 PR relationships. You can let me pimp you until you don't even have a coochie no more. You can do whatever you want to do. But you're in too deep. You've gone too far. The people don't like you. You can do what you want to do. That is the truth. And the truth is, even if you do manage to somehow get back on the public's good side, it won't be via these dry ass PR relationships. I've seen it so many times with people. I talk about this all the time. With people sacrificing their family, you know what I mean? People doing a bunch of satanic symbolism, selling their souls, and they still end up fucked up because you allow Satan to manipulate you and tell you that if you sacrifice your mom, or if you sacrificed your booty hole, if you sacrificed your brother, if you divorced your husband, that you're gonna have a big thriving career. But that's not all the way true. You might have some success, you might have some level of fame, you might get some buzz, but a lot of people end up, sacrificing major things and still ending up with a raw deal because they were lied to. And they end up giving up these precious things in vain. And they can't, again, renege or prosecute Satan behind it because you agreed to it. They agree to it. This is very obvious to see. Okay, let's move on. We can briefly talk about Kash Doll. Kash Doll is dry. Again, some artists have never made it to where they want to be because they just don't have it. Kash Doll is one of them. I don't think Kash Doll is talented. Argue if you want. I don't care. Kash Doll is like, you can tell that she has the same mindset as Cardi B when it comes to music. Same thing with like Saweetie. They approach music like a job or like a hustle and not an art. And it shows. Kash Doll is forever, you know, bubbling under. Lotto is forever bubbling under. I don't think Lotto, I think Megan is a better rapper than Lotto. I think Lotto is unlikable and inauthentic, and so it's not helping her. I don't think she's the worst rapper, but she really became shitty when she signed a major label deal. She was better when she was independent. With Kash Doll though, Kash Doll is not meant to be rapping. I want her to stop. She's also too old. I'm gonna say it. Kash Doll is a mature woman. And this is not me hating on her, but it's a good thing to be too old to do rap. It's a good thing. It's a good thing to grow out of rap music. It's a good thing to be like, I'm too grown for that. I'm too bossed up for that. You know what I'm saying? Rap. I'm a grown-ass woman. You know what I'm saying? I'm a queen, I'm a boss. I'm not rapping, bouncing around in music videos saying the N-word, like with a bunch of jewelry on and a bunch of rented designer and a rented fucking Maybach. Yes, Kash Doll is not a musician. Yes, Blicky, you described her perfectly. Kash Doll is nothing more than an ex-stripper using music as a marketing scheme. To just, again, allow her to have, you know, rap is about marketing. Rap is a business. It's an art, but it's also a business. And the business of rap is great if you're trying to brand yourself and market yourself to a larger audience. And again, get corporate deals and brand deals. I mean, honestly, like somebody said, and this is true, women becoming influencers is the equivalent of men becoming rappers. Because what is influencing? Marketing. It's how you get yourself into what? A bigger audience. You know, you get your name out there. You can brand yourself as a personal brand. You can get brand deals, brand collabs, endorsements, trips, all these things. Which is why everybody's doing it. And they're completely right. Influencing is like rapping, just no music. So when it comes to, again, Saweetie and Kash Doll and a lot of these rappers, they are corporate puppets. They're not musicians. Kash Doll is not a musician. I'm sick of seeing her, though, in this relationship. Like I told somebody on Instagram, because it's true. When it comes to whatever is going on with her and Tracy, I don't believe that Kash Doll ever had feelings for Tracy. I just don't. I think that Kash Doll saw a guy with nice hair and nice skin. She wanted kids. She used him for his sperm. She wanted more than one kid, and she wanted those kids to have the same dad. She used him. They were never going to be long-term. Kash Doll never, you can see that she never really loved him. Like, she was always just using him for his looks. She wanted cute kids with good hair and good skin. And so she got what she wanted out of him, and then she did what they all do. She kicked him to the curb. She's an ex-stripper. She's been using niggas her whole life. Yes, the moment she had the second baby, and I bet you, Kash Doll is not going to have another kid ever in her life. She's done. She's got her 2 kids. She's got a son and a daughter. She's done. She's never going to have any more kids. She wants all her kids to have the same dad. She's done having children. She got what she wanted. She doesn't give a fuck about Tracy. I think that Tracy is a part of the play with getting online, going back and forth. Her, like Zadarius, Kash Doll, and Tracy, they're all in on it. This is all transactional drama and made up drama and just fuckery. Thank you, Kant. You're so kind. Kash Doll is, but she's too old for this bullshit. I just want Kash Doll to start a legit business. Like, that's my issue with Kash Doll. Because I don't dislike Kash Doll. I like Kash Doll. But I just think Kash Doll has a problem with how she presents herself. I think Cash Doll needs to start a legit business. I think she can do that and be very successful. I think if she started a salon, or I don't want a boutique. I'm sick of bitches and boutiques. Like, free me from these hoes and boutiques. But I think Cash Doll has the potential to run or own and operate a very successful business, something that fits her personal brand, something luxurious for women. Again, it could be a spa, a skincare spa, a medical spa, a hair salon. Her hair is always done. And it looks great. She is somebody who could start a respectable business. And what else? What else could she do? You know, she likes a lot of designer shit. If she was going to open up a boutique, she really could sell, like, she should open up like a consignment shop or something. Like, Cash Doll has a lot of potential, but she decides to waste her potential on fucking bullshit antics in the media. And it's tragic because she's too old for that. And, you know, I like her. I want better for her. And so I'm just like, why the fuck are you doing these antics? Okay, I'm not Muslim. I'm proudly Christian. Okay, Neo. How could I forget this bald head nigga? Neo. Yes, Cash Doll is beautiful. And I like her personality. I just think that she's immature, which is why she's not pivoting properly. Because I just wish somebody would tell her the antics that you're doing with your baby daddy and this new nigga are not the tea. It's not the tea. Like, stop. Neo. Neo reminds me, okay, before we even go down that path, one thing I said in the short. Okay, thank you, writer. I said in the short that I made about Neo, I said, you know what? I know Neo is allegedly fruity, but I think the real problem is sex addiction. And I feel that way about Neo. I feel that way about Kanye. I feel that way about Shannon Sharp. I feel that way about Tyga. I feel that way about anybody that is Ray J. The list goes on and on and on and on and on. I think a lot of people, and I'm not even talking about just industry people, but Playboy Cardi, he's a fucking drugged out bottom. His bitch ass. He's so disgusting. I don't like to see men feminized like that. He's such a bitch ass nigga. Like, you can tell that he can't fight. He could never go to jail. He'd be the fucking jailhouse slut. This nigga cannot fight. He can't fight. Nothing about him is a man. He's completely emasculated. And that's disgusting to me. Like, you're a man. Be a man. I shouldn't be harder than you. I mean this shit, you guys. I mean it. When I talk about how, you know, I don't like soft men and I shouldn't be tougher than a man. In real life, when I'm out in these streets, I wish a bitch would. I don't let people play with me. I will get your ass together. I will make a phone call. I will confront you. I will get in your face. I will honk my horn at you, give you the middle finger. I will dare you to run up on me. I will dare you to get jiggy with me. I will deal with your ass. And so when I see a man that is so emasculated and, you know, just looking so weak, it's disgusting. It's repulsive. Because as a woman, I should not, you know, be, again, tougher than you. Thank you, writer. I shouldn't be tougher than you. I just shouldn't. And Playboy Cardi has that energy. I am not a Leo. In sidereal astrology, I'm a Leo rising. I think sidereal or like Vedic is more accurate. But in tropical, I'm a Sagittarius. My birthday's in December. And in tropical, I'm a Virgo rising, but I don't feel like a Virgo rising. Leo rising is a lot more accurate, especially because I have the hair. But anywho, a lot of these men are not, they don't have a sexual orientation. They are, thank you, Queen Lotus. A lot of them are not, they don't have a sexual orientation. They are just addicts. They're freaked out. And how does this happen? It does happen through gay sex. A lot of people, and we talk about this sometimes, when you start messing with your root chakra, because your chakra system is real, and it's the same thing with women, but it mainly happens with women if they are violated as a child. And it can go both ways with them being either hyper promiscuous or they're like, you know, afraid to express themselves sexually because they've been violated. But when you see a young lady that is hypersexual, a lot of times it's because, again, someone has violated her. And psychology will tell you that she's trying to take her power back. I believe that it's not about her taking her power back. I believe that her root chakra has been, her root chakra has been distorted. That's the word I want to say. Yeah, my mom sent me that photo of the men in the skirts. Ridiculous. And with men, it happens at any age. When a man is violated by another man in that way, especially if it's, you know, back door has been tampered with, it distorts his root chakra. And this is why when you go down the conspiracy rabbit hole, you start hearing about panda and panda eyes, because when you mess with, you know, you have your pineal gland, you know, heart chakra, you've got a chakra like, I think here in your diaphragm area, you know, tummy chakra, and then you have like your root chakra, which is like, again, like your pelvic area. You have chakras. When a man messes with that root chakra, that distorts the rest. And it affects right here. And you see these panda eyes sometimes. And it's because this, what's up in here, is still being affected by, the nerves are being affected by, bitch, I finished school. Get the fuck out my life. The nerves are being affected by what happened in the root chakra. So it's just like when people, again, Aleister Crowley describes this as enlightenment, because according to Aleister Crowley, when you mess with a man's root chakra, there, in his eyes, he sees flashes of light. And this is what they claim is enlightenment. So this area is affected when you mess with your root chakra as a man. And this is why the mind becomes sick and the body becomes sick. Because again, if that travels all the way up, then every other chakra has been distorted. And so when you start to study men who mess with men, they all have an issue with being hypersexual. This is why I've noticed, and I said this, I say, you know, gay people, especially men, tend to have children. But I thought you were gay. You know, so how do you have kids? Y'all see this all the time. You will see, what do you see? You see men who are DL or bisexual, and they still, thank you, Venus. I'm glad you like it over here. You see men who are DL, or you see men who are bisexual, who again are messing with men and women. You don't have an orientation. Your orientation is freaked out. You're freaked out. You will see gay men have orgies, sex parties. They always are in an open relationship. Um, you know, they have a habit of like having sex in like wild places. Again, sex parties, parks, the woods, bathrooms. You know, it's like, what? You, if you really dig, for those of you who don't know, if you study homosexual male culture, you will come across this spirit of addiction when it comes to sex addiction, and this, you know, always got to get laid, always got to get laid, always got to get laid, always trying to have sex. Why? Because their root chakra is distorted, and your root chakra is related to being grounded, safety, the feelings of home, security, stability, you know, your well-being. Like, it's hard to feel, even if you've never had that kind of experience, or had a weird experience actually. If you grew up in a very chaotic household, or if you grew up, you know, where you lacked stability in your childhood, that can lead to your root chakra being distorted, because you don't know what home feels like, or you don't know what safety and security feels like. You might always be in a state of feeling not at ease. You feel anxious. You know, like people who like move somewhere and they never unpack fully because they don't feel comfortable unpacking all the way, or they don't furnish their home. That is a sign of a distorted root chakra, because you feel like you can't set roots down anywhere. You feel like there might be like a deep fear of like, I'm not going to be here long anyway, or this might not be permanent anyway. You see that sometimes with people who suffer from homelessness. And sometimes when somebody has been homeless for a while, or has experienced homelessness several times, or has been served several evictions, or been kicked out of several homes, when they move into a spot, they might not even decorate, because their root chakra feels like, well, how long is this going to last? It's not even worth me setting roots here. It's not even worth me making this home, because you don't know what home feels like. And so I just want to go into depth with that, because this is a real thing. Chakras are a very real thing, and they really can fuck up your life. And this is what Kanye was talking about when he was saying with the 808s, you know, like the beat, the frequency, the vibration of the 808 affects your root chakra. Rap music affects your root chakra. And what is rap music all about? It's all about money, security, and sex, right? And so when you're constantly, again, stimulating that root chakra for the negative, you have people who, again, are having sex recklessly and are spending money recklessly. And so I just say all that to say, a lot of these men are not gay. They are just freaked out addicts who will sleep with anything, which is why, sorry, I have a hair that's like tripping. They're freaked out addicts, because Dion is right. Yes, you do have women who say that they're gay, but it's like, who you got pregnant by then? It's like, you're not gay, you're just a freak. Be you. You for everybody. You're a freak. You don't even have a type. You just fucking everybody. You so out there. You can't even be solid on which gender that you like. You just let anybody hit it. And the men are the same way. Where again, they're gay, but they have all these kids. They're gay, but they still date women. They you know what I'm saying? Like, they're just all over the place. And it's because they have a sex addiction. And so I just wanted to put that out there, because when you see this trend, like somebody mentioned Diddy, yes, Blicky, Diddy. You know, you see people like Diddy, you see people like, you know, again, Shannon Sharp, who's allegedly fruity. You see people like, you know, again, most of the industry. And it's just like, you don't have a type, you don't have a nothing. You just a freak. You just freaked out. Anything goes. I can't leave you alone with the fucking stuffed animal. because you're just so freaky. And this is why you have them again messing with kids and stuff like that. Again, freaked out, sex addicts, spirit of lust, gross, sex demons. This is real. This is very real. And I think that's what's going on with Neo. Now, I do want to talk about things on a deeper level when it comes to Neo and other people. I know you guys, again, have noticed this trend, because I've been talking about it for the longest, of artists who join OnlyFans. There's something more to it. Now, somebody commented on my video and they said, you know, these artists don't have money like you think that they do. No, many of them don't have as much money as we think that they do, but Neo is not broke. Neo is not broke. And I don't think Neo is going broke anytime soon. I think Neo is just a fucking freak. Now, another thing is, they could be ex-African, because that's the truth about a lot of corn. A lot of people who you see in cornos are ex-African. They're victims of ex-African. And that's what, why do you hear about, I covered this in the podcast with, again, all of these corn stars being found dead. You know what I mean? It's like, who's killing them? Who's murking them? You know, we're seeing more and more influencers. We're seeing female rappers. We're seeing people from baddies. We're seeing, you know, again, Tyga did OnlyFans. Why did Tyga do OnlyFans? Tyga has a bunch of hits. Right. Thank you, Dion. Yes, let's talk about it. It's a lot of people who are on OnlyFans, and it's like, you're supposed to have a legit career. So why are you on OnlyFans? Because there's something greater going on here. Number one, they want to push you to join OnlyFans. They want you to, you know, get online and drop your draws for a bunch of fucking freaked out weirdos. But I know it's something deeper because, you know, OnlyFans and Pornhub are owned by Zionists. See? African is deeper. Because I'm like, okay, Neo, where are these bitches from? Who are these women? Like, you got women up here doing freaky shit with you, but who are these girls? Like, where'd you get them from? What's their story? I just want to know. I just want to know. And I already told you guys, you know, Bad Baby. Hey, Zay. I'm sorry, I read your comment. Hi, Zay. Thank you for being here. I told you guys, that's why I believe that Bad Baby is lying. I'm not saying that she hasn't made any money on OnlyFans. I just think Bad Baby is a lying ass dusty broom for lying and saying that she's been making like 50 million bucks. I don't think she's making 50 million bucks on OnlyFans. I think Bad Baby is not who we think that she is. There's something deeper with her story. I think she might be a beta X kitten, or she just might be affect, or she might be helping to affect other people. Like, there's some dirty business behind what she's doing. But there's a reason why all these celebrities are joining OnlyFans. Oh, is she? That makes sense. You know, again, these are Zionist run businesses. So there's always an agenda to use puppets to market you to help make Zionists richer. So I'm looking at Neo funny. I'm just like, You know, and again, I recall Tyga was on OnlyFans too. I'm just like, I wonder, are y'all actually in the African business and you're using corn as the front? Okay. Before I get into, I'm gonna end with some real shit too. You know, you guys. Yes, that's so true. But the Dr. Phil stuff, I was like, there's something more to this. I was like, there's something here isn't amiss. There's a reason why, because there's the thing. People will say, oh, black people made her famous. Black people did help make her famous, but there's a lot of bots on the internet who are pushed through the algorithm to keep somebody's name, you know what I'm saying, in the algorithm. Like there are Twitter accounts who are like new accounts, and you're like, how do they have all these followers? Because they're a bot account. And they have time to tweet all day. I make a lot of videos. I don't tweet all day. Tweeting all day is dry to me. It takes no real effort. Making a video actually takes some energy from you. But even with me making videos a lot, I have real shit to do in my life. I have things to do, people to go, interviews. I have real shit. So people who just have thousands of followers and they've only been on Twitter for a year and all they do is tweet, it's just like, this is a bot account. This is an account that is owned by the record label to tweet, and the tweets are going viral and are pushed through the algorithm to, again, create hype around that person. Yes. Right. Just like I was talking about Lil Tay. You know, Lil Tay, again, is also being affected. And didn't I tell you guys that Lil Tay had that reality TV show on Zeus Network? And again, Zeus Network is also in bed with Zionists. So Lil Tay is a Zionist puppet. And she's been being pimped by these people allegedly since she was a minor. Like, this shit is real. It's really just that deep. It's really going down. Okay. But with these people, a lot of these guys who are just so overly sexualized and who are just messing with anything walking, a lot of them are just sex addicts and they're just freaked out. They'll screw anything. Okay, I wanted to get on how I talked about how the girls, hola, but I don't know if that's how you say, I think you guys speak Portuguese, so I don't know how you say hello in Portuguese. But hi, I'm here in America. Welcome from Brazil. Okay, remember how I covered how the girls need to get real jobs? Because they do. I forgot about a lot of people. Oi? Oh, okay, thank you. Pedro, Mr. Pedro, I think your name is Yao? Or is it Yao? Because sometimes the J is pronounced like Y. I know just a little bit of French. I don't know Portuguese, and I know very little Spanish. Okay. So I had made a video and I was saying that Coi Leray, Ice Spice, Lotto, Cardi B, Young Miami need to go back to school and get a real job and get education. I said Saweetie and Megan should use their college degrees. They both have 4-year degrees. And I almost forgot I forgot about Asian Doll. You know what I'm saying? I forgot about her. I forgot about Flo Milli. As far as JT should get an education too, to be honest, because I don't think JT is that talented. To me, she's just not. Like, her music is not hitting. It's not. So, Jean. Oh, okay. Thank you for letting me know so I don't mess up your name. So I think majority, if you can think of anybody else, let me know. But I'm telling you guys, I forgot about Flo Milli. I forgot Flo Milli even existed. And I think she's a pretty good rapper. I don't think she has the voice for rap though. And y'all got mad at me because I said Mona Leo can't rap. I don't think Mona Leo can rap. Y'all swear up and down that she can rap. And I think maybe I'm not really hearing that she might be good at it because her voice is not made for rap. Mona Leo does not sound good rapping. She just doesn't. Her voice is like yelly. It's like she's yelling. I don't like the way she raps. So Mona Leo, but she's already going back to school. Good for her. Mona Leo needs to finish school. Oh, Erica Banks needs to finish school. Needs to go back and be a nurse, or needs to just change career paths altogether. But I'm telling you, oh my God, my eye. Sorry, you guys. My lashes today are like flipping out. Mona Leo, Erica Banks, Coi Leray, Flo Milli, Asian Doll, her annoying ass. If you have doll in your name, Dream Doll, Cuban Doll, Ivorian Doll, Cash Doll, again, Cash Doll, it's never too late for her to go get an education too, but Cash Doll needs to start a business. But the rest of these girls, again, many of them I forgot because they're forgettable. They need to go back to school and get a real job. I'm sick of these girls. They suck. Female rap is in the dumps. And y'all can't, I said Cardi B needs to go to school too. And y'all kept saying, she can't read, she can't read. I don't give a fuck. Learn to read. That's what school's for. Learn to read. Learn to speak Spanish. Yeah, Asian Doll is a fucking idiot. She's a waste. I do not like her. She's another one. Oh, I can't stand her. She is just disgusting to me. JT and Young Miami, both of their ass need to be in school together. I want all of them. These girls all suck. They're not good. They need to go back to school. They need to finish school. They need to go get another job. They need to, you know, they need to just get out of music. They're not good rappers. Female rap is in the fucking garbage because it's all of these box booty bitches trying to fucking make music and they suck at it. And I just want them to stop. I want them to stop signing a deal with the devil. I want them to stop selling their bodies. I want them to stop embarrassing themselves. I want them to stop degrading themselves. I want better for them. I don't know why they want to be rappers. I just don't get it. I never wanted to rap. I don't know why they just don't go get a real fucking job. Like, I just don't get it. And I told you guys that, Blicky. I said JT is going to regret everything that JT is doing. Sorry, I have dry mouth right now. JT is going to highly regret ever getting involved with them people or them demons. She's going to regret that so bad because, again, she's being lied to, but she's so desperate that she's believing the lie. She is really messing up. JT is digging herself into a hole that she's not gonna be able to get out of. She's making a huge mistake. You know who I think is good though? I think Stunna Girl is a good rapper. I like Stunna Girl. I just do. I think she's actually good. I think Stunna Girl should keep rapping. But you know, a lot of other people, they shouldn't rap. They just shouldn't rap. They need to let it go. I hate these hoes. Okay, let's end with the economy. The economy is going to continue to get worse and worse and worse every single year until they issue UBI, which is done by design. People are talking about how, oh my God, the economy, I can't find a job, cost of living, you know, all these things. It's going to get worse. So let me know, do you have predictions for next year, for 2026? My prediction is that we will see more economic collapse. The dollar is steadily losing value. Education is steadily losing value because people are going to school and are feeling like it's not paying off. Also, Trump has, I think, capped the amount that people in grad school can take out in loans, which is going to hinder a lot of people, especially Black people, from pursuing and completing higher education or, like, you know, graduate education. So I think that we're going to continue to see more people out of work. Please understand that the numbers that they're giving you, I always say this, are fake. The job number, like, oh, we created 100,000 jobs, lies. The job number is fake. The unemployment number is fake. All the numbers are fake. They're never going to tell you the real numbers, ever. So I just think that next year we're going to continue to see collapse. We're going to continue to see people without jobs. We're going to continue to see companies file for bankruptcy. We're going to continue to see stores closing, businesses closing. We're going to continue to see homelessness. We're going to continue to see people do gig work. We are going to continue to see entrepreneurship. You know what I'm saying? We're going to continue to see that because people are going to have no choice. People... Oh, I was going to say something else. we're just going to continue to see people go off grid. People are already living in RVs. Yeah, Dion. I mean, okay, you know, if you, I keep telling y'all, if you hit a couple million, you don't need to go invest in the stock market. You should maybe start or invest in like a business, or take the money and buy land. Like if you invest money, you should buy land, because there will never be more land. And land is going up in value because people keep buying it. So you should buy land, because with land, you can put an RV on it, you can build a home on it, you can grow food on it, you can do anything. Once you have land, you win. So with the economy next year, they are telling they're just now, well, they still don't want to acknowledge that we're in a recession. You know, the economy is great, lies, but we're really in a depression. We really are. And it will get worse. And it's by design. Because when they finally do acknowledge how bad things are, they will have the chip ready to give you. They will have UBI ready to give you. I told you guys in a podcast, I said you have 5 years, 2030, to get your shit together. And Blicky, I told you guys in the podcast, I said, people are not realizing that the 1% are doing great because they own investments. And so when you own an investment, you like inflation because the value of your assets, they own assets. The value of your asset goes up as inflation goes up. It inflates the value of your assets. And the more that your asset is worth is the more that you can borrow against it, or the more that you can sell it for. And this is why the rich keep getting richer, because they own assets. If you don't own an asset, you're never going to be able to keep up with the pace of inflation. It's not designed for you to keep up with the pace of inflation. It's designed to keep certain people poor and certain people rich. This system is designed for the caste system, the financial caste system, to stay in place and keep people where they want people at. It's just how it's designed. So if you want to get rich, you need to own an asset. And there is no asset like owning land and owning a home. But heavy on the land, because when you own a home, the downsides are you take on the risk of the maintenance. You have to have insurance, you can pay taxes and stuff like that. It does come with a lot of responsibility. You gotta take care of it, you gotta furnish it, keep it up, all these things. But once you own land, again, you can build a tiny house on your land, and you can grow your own food on your land, and you can put solar panels on your land, and you can have your own water supply. You can truly detach from the matrix once you have your own land. That is an asset. Gold can't do that for you. But the value of gold is keeping up with the pace of inflation. Gold is an asset, but there is no asset like land. So we're going to continue to see fuckery. But yeah, get your shit together by 2030, because the government is never going to tell you the truth about the economy until they're ready to give you a solution. And the solution will be take the chip in order to get UBI. That is what I will always stand on. I believe that in order to get UBI, you will have to take the chip. And there will be people, because I already told you guys, this is all by design. In my opinion, there will be people who take the chip because they are so broke and so desperate. They've been broke for so long. They've been out of a job for, a year, 2 years, 6 months. They're living out of their car. They're living out of a shelter. They're living on the streets. They're living in a tent in the woods. We're going to see more and more people. I say this to you guys every single time I'm here. Society is splitting up. People are already living in the woods now because they just can't survive in the matrix anymore. And more people will continue to have to go. They will be priced out of the matrix, and they will have to live off grid. And then there will be people who won't sell their soul. They will say, I will not take the chip. Fuck your matrix. I'm living off grid. Right? So that's what I'm saying. And there will be those who are like, yeah, I want the chip. And they don't even realize that they are signing away their soul in bondage. Yes, people are living in their cars. It's really going down. Campers, RVs, vehicles, storage units. People are living in some crazy situations right now. Many people are leaving the US because they're priced out of the US. The US is becoming extremely expensive and, uninhabitable because we just can't keep up. So, this is why, there are people in place who will not lower the interest rates because they don't want you to own a home. They want it to be very expensive for you to own a home. And the more expensive it is for you to own a home is the more that you have to work and maintain the mortgage on the property, is the more the taxes are. And thus you have to consistently hustle and work to keep it up. And that's going to be hard to keep a high paying job when there are constant layoffs in high paying fields. You know what I mean? So it's set up for you to fail. Yes, most homes are about $500,000. Where I live, the housing market is crashing, but the interest rates are still high and people are again getting laid off. Businesses are closing. But there is a reason why, the corporations are buying up single family homes, and there is a reason why the interest rates to borrow for a home are being kept expensive, and it's to keep, again, the poor class poor. They don't want people owning assets. They don't want you to own a home, because once you own the home, that is your ticket into wealth. There are two tickets into gaining wealth quickly. One is home ownership, two is marriage. Two incomes will always trump one income. If you have two incomes, it's a lot easier to do what? Buy a home and maintain wealth. But they don't want people to have any wealth. They want to keep, people, again, broke and poor and constantly working. Because once you, again, own assets and you put yourself in that position, you don't have to work as hard. You don't have to work as much. You got to work to maintain the home. But especially once that home is paid off, like, yes, you have taxes, but you're in a lot of a better position because, again, once inflation keeps going up, which it will always keep going up, you build up your net worth, and they don't want you to do that. So they're making things difficult on purpose. I believe that next year will only be worse. Things will continue to be, struggle until 2030, and then they will say, we have a solution. Everything's going to be better. Take this chip, get the UBI. We're all rich and everything's good. And it won't be good. You will be selling your soul, but they will disguise it as the solution to people who are homeless and hungry. And with that, I'm done, you guys. Have a lovely evening. I had so much fun here today. I've been looking forward to going live, like, since I last went live. But I've been hi. I love the Bahamas. I love Caribbean people. This live is going to be up for replay because you're at the very end. But I appreciate you all for being here with me tonight. Yes, it will be up on the page for replay. Check out the website. I'm going to bring some more decodes to you guys. I do need to do that tomorrow. Thank you, Blicky. I need to give you guys some decodes. But other than that, be safe out there. I'm going to post. So just, you know where to find me. You guys know where I'm at. Have a lovely night. If you want to donate to the channel, donate to the channel. I do take donations if you have it to give. But other than that, again, be safe. Praise God. Love you guys. Thank you for joining me tonight. Bye.